in a flood zone.
Have you sold it?
Have I sold my home?
Yeah.
I
Right.
live in my home, sir.
Oh, well, you're telling everybody else to sell theirs. You're a climate extremist, aren't you, Professor?
Certainly not, Senator.
You are a
Everything
political
okay?
extremist, aren't you?
Certainly not, Senator.
Stay safe, boss.
On July 9th of 2024, did you tweet the following quote? Honestly, the biggest long-term political problem the Democrats have is that they don't know how to talk to low-information morons. Close
Got it.
quote.
I don't believe those are my words, Senator. I'd have to be able to see them if you would share that with me.
Yeah, here it is, big as Dallas.
I don't believe those are my words, Senator.
You tweeted them.
I don't believe that I did.
Yes, you did.
I may have liked someone else's tweet or retweeted someone
Oh,
else's
you
tweet. Those
often
are not my words.
like tweets you don't agree with?
Those are not my words, Senator.
Yeah, but you
Yeah, but you agree with it.
approve it.
Right.
You can't make this cat walk backwards, Professor.
Those are
On
not
July
those are not my
16th,
words, Senator.
2024,
You tweeted them,
did
asshole.
you tweet the following, quote,
Let's hear it.
"A big part of modern right-wing culture is this version of the illicit. The reading of this or that writer or account that are outre, in whatever ways, fascist, race IQ obsessives, Holocaust denial adjacent,
Okay, look, I'm heading over to see Dre.
people with very weird sexual fixations and pathologies.
So
They
I've got a
turn
rough
into their
area
own
based on a couple
philosophy.
cell towers, but I can't
A
be more
lot of them,
precise
and
than
I
that.
think this is true
Here's the
of
GPS
things,
for the closest tower. You'll need to track
and
it down from there.
definitely true
Alright, shit,
of the
coming up.
freaky
Hey, get out here.
Silicon Valley MAGA weirdos have simply pickled their brains," end quote.
Again, Senator, those are not my words, and I did not.
Really?
I did not
Tweeted
tweet.
them, Professor.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I mean, there's only so much like plausible deniability you can have here. If someone posts something and you do not
Okay,
agree with
the
it,
signal
that's what
just
you
picked
generally
up.
do not
You're
do,
close by.
guys, right? You generally don't retweet it. You generally don't like it. If you dislike it that much, you may, I don't know, leave some crazy comment underneath it or something here, and or just ignore it and say, nah, bunch of weirdos, right? But no, in fact, here, you use your public profile to immediately align yourself with the absolute extremists that he basically called you at the beginning of this video here, guys.
When you make predictions that climate change is going to destroy home ownership and the insurance market and
They're here! Take them motherfuckers out
Otherwise-
and let's go!
cause the earth to spin off its axis. Those predictions are made on the basis of climate models, is that right?
The forward-looking forecasts are based on models. My discussion was retrospective and focused on the data we collected over the last 5 years.
Those models
On it.
are wrong. Then your predictions would be impacted, wouldn't they?
Senator, I would say that the famous quote is that all models are wrong, but some are useful. And in this case, there's a preponderance of evidence that suggests the
What's
direction that
methanol?
Guys, he's not very likely.
I'm not aware of that term, Senator.
I'm surprised. I've read a lot of your writings. You seem to fancy yourself as a climate expert.
Senator, I'm an expert on housing markets, mortgage markets, and insurance markets. I'm not a climate
If I told
scientist.
you that methanethiol
So why are you commenting on it so
is
loudly?
a sulfur-based aerosol gas, kind of smells like rotten cabbage, that is produced by microscopic plankton in all of our oceans, which covers 75%
Okay,
of
FYI,
the
Johnny
Earth's
is making
surface.
some serious calls. Private
Would you
pilot,
agree to
private kill
disagree?
squad, you know the kind of thing.
I certainly know that, Senator. I'm here to talk about insurance.
If I told you that this methanethanol is an aerosol, which escapes into our environment, it oxidizes and produces particles
Okay.
that substantially reflect the sun's radiation and heat and prevents climate change. Would you have a reason to disagree with me?
I wouldn't, Senator. I'm here to talk about the insurance crisis.
I know you don't want to talk about things that undermine your confident assertions, but
Hey, I'm at the studio. I was just for Dre. He want to speak to Guns face to face. He heading down to meet you now.
the Institute of Marine Sciences and the Cabrera Institute of Physical Chemistry
Just don't put the final bullet
just
in
a
the
few
clip.
days ago published a startling study. It's being widely reported. And it found that while scientists in these climate change models on which you rely have always known about methanethiol, that now science has discovered ways to better measure it, and that it appears, not appears, it demonstrates that there's 25% more methanethiol being released into our atmosphere than any scientist ever thought. And that's going to have a huge impact on cooling the earth. And we're going to have to recalibrate all of our climate change models. I suggest you read it, Doc.
They're not going to read it. They're not going to partake in any new information that goes against how they feel. That's just kind of not what they represent large scale in 2026. But guys, let's get into the crux of the issue here. This is exactly where we are here. All right, the left immediately thinks every single person on the right, or anyone that espouses anything that goes against, kind of by default or by tradition or by, I don't know, nature, let's say this here, they go against anything that they're basically saying. They're an absolute moron, they're low information, they're idiots, they're all of these things here. You have to always paint the opposition as less than human, subhuman, etc. It's easier to then do absolute horror and terror to them. And that goes for anything where there's opposition. Generally, you have to dehumanize the next person. You have to remove their humanity. Just because there is a group of people on this planet, in this country, that absolutely, in fact, by default, do not just side with you blindly, it doesn't mean they're low information. It doesn't. Now, are there some people who close their eyes completely to what's happening around them? Yes, it happens on both sides completely, right? I mean, in fact, there are people who just follow the lead and just do not care truthfully about the facts here. And that can definitely be said on both sides of the table here. One side is a lot louder with the nonsense, all right? The left consistently is screaming at the top of the mountains that the right the right does not immediately subscribe to whatever ideology or lifestyle that California is pushing today. All right, listen, guys, you guys want absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Please if you'd like to subscribe. But in the meantime, guys, I'll go and get you guys later.
As a foreign attorney during the Biden administration, you recommended actual commutations for Daniel Troyer and Ricardo Sanchez, who were sentenced to death in 2009 after executing a family of 4. Several of your colleagues asked you about it. This is my turn to ask a question. Those 2 little boys were shot 10 times, and their mother was shot 11 times, and their father was shot 5 times. That doesn't sound like to me that you stand up to bullies. It sounds like to me you stand with them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate all of you being here today. Witnesses taking your time to be in front of us. Before I start, I want to say thank you to Attorney General Ashcroft for being here today and your service to our country, both as Attorney General and as a United States Senator. And also thank you for your kind words about Senator Graham. Really appreciate it. Mrs. Voss, thank you for sharing your story, reliving the worst day in your life, being willing to tell your story so that people hear it. Really appreciate it, and I'm so sorry for your loss. We're going to talk a little bit in a second about people needing to meet with survivors, which I completely agree with, and victims.
Hey, is that
Let
it?
me ask you a
Cause I don't
question.
hear nothing.
Do you think
That
that
motherfucker's still alive, go get his ass.
when someone is killed at the hands of an illegal alien, that their representation in Congress, senators, congressmen, should meet with that
I ain't
family?
fucking done. I ain't fucking done.
Absolutely. Of course.
It's my understanding that there are many angel families that cannot get meetings with their senators.
The
Have you
fucking
heard
hands
that?
off.
Absolutely.
Yo, Dre.
It happens all
Johnny.
the time. As a matter of fact,
up, man?
the lovely and kind words from Senator Durbin, I am his constituent. First time I've ever spoken with him. I haven't
Hey man, you know
spoken
what?
with him.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's bounce.
Well, I hope, and I'm sure that, I heard actually the ranking member yesterday talk about the need for the Attorney General to meet with victims, which I support, and I certainly am hopeful that he will, and others, will meet with you. So, Sheridan Gorman and other names need to be said, and I think the accountability that we have in this room for other people, we should be able to have it for this body as well. So I certainly hope that you get your face-to-face meeting that you deserve.
I would hope so. We've had several laws introduced, legislation introduced in this last session that have been completely ignored. And there hasn't been any way to really get in and talk to anybody, especially those who are opposed to those legislations for whatever reason.
Well, thank you so much for elevating your voice. Ms. Bazinski, am I saying that right? It's Bensky, yeah. Okay, gosh, I'm gonna have to try. I'm so sorry for everything you've been through, and thank you for your courage, for being here today and being able to elevate your voice. I completely support your quest to be able to be heard, to obviously for victims to be protected, and for us to pursue every lead possible. And you know, I do believe after my conversations with the Assistant Attorney General that he is going to pursue those. Let me ask you this. Were you asked in the previous administration, did you ever have an opportunity to sit down with the then Attorney General, Merrick Garland?
We did not, but there are active investigations going on because of Ghislaine Maxwell's hearing.
So, but did you ever have a face-to-face with him?
No.
No. Did y'all request a face-to-face?
This was before a time that I was comfortable coming forward. It was just this last September that a group of us felt like we had met each other, and